Hi there, this is Mr. Holcomb here with another episode of The Math Behind the Modules. This is Lesson 6, Solving Problems by Finding Equivalent Ratios. I got a little feedback on my sound and was told that it didn't sound very good, so hopefully this is a better audio recording. Enjoy. So classwork exercise 1. It says the Business Direct Hotel. The Business Direct Hotel caters to people who travel for different types of business trips. On Saturday night, there is not a lot of business travel. So the ratio of the number of occupied rooms to the number of unoccupied rooms is 2 to 5. Okay, so this is on Saturday. All of this is Saturday. And we have occupied rooms to number of unoccupied rooms. So I'm going to do Saturday, occupied, and then unoccupied, vacant. And the ratio is 2 to 5. However, on Sunday night, the ratio of the number of occupied rooms to the number of unoccupied rooms is 6 to 1. Let me move that out of the way. 6 to 1. Due to the number of business people attending a large conference in the area. If the Business Direct Hotel has 432 occupied rooms, there's the total. On Sunday night, how many unoccupied rooms on Saturday night? So you might be scratching your head here saying, how in the world am I going to do this? Okay, well, first thing we want to do is break it up into 2 days. So we have Saturday and we have Sunday. And we have occupied and we have unoccupied. Okay, so the occupied rooms has a ratio of 2 to 5. So occupied, I'm going to do a tape diagram with 2 squares. The unoccupied is going to have 5 squares. So there's 2, there's 4, and then finally 5. Okay? Not very neat, but it's hard to write with this pen. So 2 to 5. All these are equivalent squares. Okay? And then we're going to do the same on Sunday. Occupied is 6 to 1. So if I draw a tape diagram like so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then here is my tape diagram. There, that's a little bit better. And then to 1. 6 to 1, occupied to unoccupied. So Saturday's a quiet night, Sunday's busy. Okay. Now it says the business director, if the Business Direct Hotel has 432 occupied rooms on Sunday night, so that's right here, this equals 432. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. So if I divide this by 6, then 6 goes into 43. 6 times 7 is 42. With a remainder of 1, 6 goes into 12, 2. So that means that there are 72 per square. So this is 72 rooms, 72 rooms, 72 rooms, and so on. So now I know the ratio of occupied to unoccupied is 6 to 1. So there's 6 groups of 72 rooms occupied, and then unoccupied is 72. So there's a total of, now I know a total of rooms. And I add the occupied and unoccupied on Sunday, and I get 5. This hotel has 504 rooms. Okay. So if we break this up and now we have a ratio of 2 to 5, well, that's a total of 7 squares, and this is a total of 7 squares, so they all have to be the same. So these are all 72, 72, and 72. The question is asking for unoccupied. So the key to this whole problem, what they want to know is how many rooms were not occupied on Saturday. So my answer is going to be 72 times that group of 5 rooms, or blocks of 5 And 5 times 2 is 10, 7 times 5 is 35, plus 1 is 36. So there are 336 rooms unoccupied on Saturday. Okay, so there we go. 360 rooms unoccupied on Saturday. So the tape diagram really does make this calculation easy. Okay, number 2. Peter is trying to work out by completing sit-ups and push-ups. So these are the things that he's doing, sit-ups, push-ups, in order to gain muscle mass. Originally, Peter was completing 5 sit-ups for every 3 push-ups. Okay? But then he injured his shoulder. After the injury, Peter completed the same number of repetitions as he did before his injury, but he completed 7 sit-ups for every 1 push-up. So he couldn't do as many push-ups as before. It was 5 to 3, now it's 7 to 1. 5 and 3 is 8, 7 and 1 is 8. The totals are the same. It's going to be the same type of problem as before. We are going to do tape diagrams with the same layout as up here. So we're dealing with before injury, and what did he do before injury? Actually, let me change that color just so I'm consistent with up above. Let me make that blue. That was my before injury. So before injury, it's going to go here, and my ratio is sit-ups to push-ups. So I'm going to do sit-ups and push-ups, and it's 5 to 3. So if I have a tape diagram with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get rid of that last one. Okay, there's 5, and then push-ups was 3, like that. So now I have a ratio of 5 to 3. I'm going to do the same for after injury, after he hurt his shoulder. And again, it's sit-ups. And push-ups. Okay, so now it's 7 to 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 1. So there's our ratio set up. So now we read the question. It says, during a training session, after his injury, so we're talking about over here, Peter completed 8 push-ups. And that was a ratio of 7 to 1. So if 1 square is 8, that means all squares are 8. Okay, so I'm just going to take a moment here. And that also means before sit-ups, because the ratios were equivalent. Totals, not equivalent, but the ratios weren't equivalent, but the total was. Okay, 5 plus 3 is 8, 7 plus 1 is 8. So we have the same number of reps. So it says, how many push-ups was Peter completing before? How many push-ups before? So this is what the question is asking. So now all we have to do is say 8 times 3, and that is 24 push-ups. Okay? And there you have it. Next question. Tom and Rob are brothers who like to make bets about the outcomes of different contests between them. Before the last bet, the ratio of the amount of Tom's money to the amount of Rob's money was 4 to 7. Okay? Before the last bet. And we're talking about Tom's money to Rob. Tom's to Rob's. So I'm going to write Tom's money and Rob's money. And the ratio was 4 to 7. So I'm going to draw this as 1, 2, 3, 4. To Rob's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 more. So it's 4 to 7. Rob lost the latest competition, and now the ratio of the amount of Tom's money to the amount of Rob's money is 8 to 3. So this is after last bet. Okay, and it's 8 to 3. So Tom's money, Rob's money, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 3. Okay, 8 and 3 is 11. 4 and 7 is 11. So now it says if Rob had $280 before the last competition, so we're talking about who here? Rob, that's here. Before the last competition, he had $280. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I divide 280 by 7, these are each worth 40. Because 40 times 7 is 280. So each one of these ratio components or pieces is worth 40 all the way. So I'm going to take the time to label this to solidify the understanding that every single square in a tape diagram has an equal value. And then I can answer the question. Now it says, how much does Rob have now that he lost the bet? So we're looking for the amount of money Rob has, and it's 40 times 3, which is $120. Okay, number 4. Now what I want you to do here is pause the video, see if you can do these last ones on your own. I think there's a total of 7. Okay, and pause the video, do these up to 7, and then come back and see how you did. I'm going to continue here, so I'll await your completion and return. Okay, so here we go. Number 4. A sporting goods store ordered new bikes and scooters. Bikes and scooters. For every 3 bikes ordered, 4 scooters were ordered. So bikes to scooters is 3 to 4. However, bikes were way more popular than scooters, so the store changed its next order. The new ratio of the number of bikes ordered to the number of scooters, so now it's bikes to scooters, has become 5 to 2. 3 plus 4 is 7, 5 plus 2 is 7, so our totals are the same, so we can do a tape diagram like we've been doing. If the same amount of sporting equipment was ordered in both orders and 64 scooters were ordered originally, and so on and so on. So let's set this up. So I'm going to put first order. Let me change colors. Let me go back to red. So here's our first order. And then we're going to do a new order. So the first order was bikes and scooters. And the ratio was 3 to 4. So if I draw a tape diagram of bikes and divide it into 3 pieces, and then I do the same for the scooters, but I just go a little bit further and make 4 pieces, that is a ratio of 3 to 4. Now I'm going to do the same over here. Bikes, scooters, and the new ratio is 5 to 2. I'll do this one first, so I can set up a template, try to make them the same. So there's 2, 4, 5. So the ratio is 5 to 2. Now I'm going to answer the question. If the same amount of sporting equipment was ordered in both orders, and 64 scooters were ordered originally, so that's the original here, this equals 64. Same number of bikes and scooters were ordered total, okay? How many bikes were ordered as part of the new order? So the answer to this question is how many bikes in the new order? So we were told the scooters in the first. We want to know bikes in the new. Okay, so we have a total of 64 divided by 4 squares. So we do that. 4 goes into 6 once with a remainder of 2. 4 goes into 24 6 times. So the answer is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So these are all worth 16. 16 times 3 is 48. So there are 48 bikes ordered in the first order and 64 scooters. And that is a total of 112 items, bikes and scooters. Okay? Now this is also 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16. Well, this is 16 times 2, which is 32, and this is 16 times 5, which is 80. And 80 plus 32 equals 112. So our totals are the same, like it said it should be. And now we answer the question. How many bikes were ordered in this new order? And the answer is 80. So I should write that in a complete sentence. So just give me a moment. And there you have it. 80 bikes were ordered as part of the new order. Okay, here's number 5. At the beginning of grade 6, the ratio of the number of advanced math students to the number of regular math students was 3 to 8. So advanced math to regular math at the beginning of grade 6. Okay? So we're beginning 6th grade, okay? And we're doing advanced and regular math. And the ratio is 3 to 8. So there's 3 advanced, there's 3 regular, there's 3 more regular, which is 6, and then 2 more. So that is 3 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 3 to 8. Continue reading now. However, after taking placement tests, students were moved around, changing the ratio, so now it's after test. After the placement test. So they took a test, and some probably did better than expected, so they got moved to advanced, or maybe someone in advanced didn't do so well, so they moved them back to regular and so forth. That's what happens. And so now the new ratio is 4 to 7. So it's going to be advanced to regular. I'll just abbreviate here. And it's going to be 4 to 7. That's not very good. So let me try that again. Okay, that's better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 to 7. 3 to 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 7 plus 4 is 11. We have the same total. Okay, and it says now how many students started regular math and advanced math if there were 92 students in advanced math after the placement test. So advanced after the placement test equals 92. That was our given. So in order to solve this, I have to take 92 divided by 4. So if I do that, 2 times 4 is 8, bring down the 1. 9 minus 8 is 1, bring down the 2, and it's 3. So every number in each square is 23. So I'm going to write that. I want you all to remember that each square is equivalent, always. So I'm going to take the time to solidify that. It's tedious, but it's necessary. Okay, now we're going to answer the question. How many students started in regular math and advanced math. So I want to know this, and I want to know this. So I need 23 times 3, and it's 189 advanced, and it's 23 times 8, which is 184 regular. Okay, I made a small mistake here. Let me fix it. That doesn't make sense. 189 is more than 184. I did a calculation error. 23 times 3 is 3 times 2 is 6. So there's 69 advanced, 184 regulars. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, next question. Number 6. During the first semester, the ratio of the number of students in art class to the number of students in gym class, see what I'm doing here, it gets very easy after you've done a few, is 2 to 7. So art gets 2 squares, and gym gets 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. 2 to 7, art to gym. Okay, the word 2 tells you where to put the colon, and the ratio of the number of students in art to the number of students in gym. Art to gym, 2 to 7. Says, however, the art classes were really small and the gym classes were large, so principal changed students' classes for second semester. So now we're in second semester. In the second semester, the ratio of the number of students in art to the number of students in gym was 5 to 4. So now I need to draw a tape diagram with 5 squares and a tape diagram with 4 squares. 5 plus 4 is 9, 2 plus 7 is 9. Our ratios have the same total, so we can use this tape diagram. And it says if 75 students were in art class second semester, there's the key. Go down here, art class equals 75, second semester. How many were in art class and gym class first? So the question's asking these two. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. 5, I divide 75 by 5, and I get 15. 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. These are all 15. Okay, and these are 15. So to answer art equals 15 times 2, which is 30 students. Gym equals 15 times 7 squares. So gym equals 105 students. Okay. So there are 30 students in art and 105 in gym. Okay. Isn't this fun? Okay, next question. Jeanette wants to save money, but she has not been good at it in the past. The ratio of the amount of money in Jeanette's savings account to the amount of money in her checking account was 1 to 6. So past. Okay. Savings to checking. Savings first. Checking second. Was a ratio of 1 to 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 to 6. Okay. Because Jeanette is trying to get better at saving money, she moves some money out of her checking account and into her savings account. Now, okay, after the transfer, the ratio of the money in her savings account to the amount of money in her checking account is 4:3. 4:3. If Jeanette has $936 in her checking account before moving the money in her checking, so checking equals 936. There's our given. That's the key to answering all these questions. How much money does Jeanette have in each account after? So I want to know this, and I want to know that. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. So I'm going to divide 936 by 6. 5 times 6 is 30. And 6 times 6 is 36. No remainder. That's good. So there is $156 per square. Okay. And now I can answer this question. Because if I multiply 156 by the number of squares that represent our ratio, I get the total that the question is asking for. So savings equals 156 times 4 $624 is in savings. And 156 times 3 $468 is in checking. Okay, lesson summary says when solving problems in which a ratio between two quantities changes, it's helpful to draw a before tape diagram and an after tape diagram. That is the end of lesson 6. Go do your problem set.